In this video, I'm going to talk about why your brain is keeping you stuck. See, most people don't fail because of talent or resources or lack thereof. They fail because their mind is working against them. They're telling themselves stories where they don't win in the end. And because of that, they're not getting into their greater. So we're going to dive in. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you can do to make your mind work with you, to make your brain work for you, so that you can not only tell stories where you win, but you can actually win. How many of you want that? Drop that in the comments. I want that. Me too. So most people think the reason they're stuck, and I'll just name all the excuses, just insert excuse here. I'm stuck because I don't have enough money, or I don't have the right opportunities. I'm not like you, Greg. I can't just get on camera and talk to people, or I can't just walk up to a stranger and talk to them. I don't have enough connections. I don't have the right connections. I'm too tall. I'm too short. I'm black in a white man's world. I'm white in a black man's world. I'm a woman in a man's world. And all of these crazy excuses. And guys, I'm not talking from a place of I'm greater than you. I'm telling you that you are greater than you think you are because of whose you are. We are created in the image of a creator. And so the truth is, the number one thing that's ever keeping you from success is your brain. And it's your thought, it's your speech, it's your action. It's what you're doing based on what you're thinking, based on what you're saying, but it all stems from your beliefs. So this video is brought to you in part by the letter R for reframing limiting beliefs. We're going in cycles. I don't know if you've noticed, the videos go through the themes of the greater framework in order. So we're back to R. If you missed the other 7, 8 videos, go back and watch them. They're typically under the live tab, but it's not your job. It's not the economy. It's not your competition. It's not your race, your religion, your ethnicity, your lack of religion, your creed. None of that is keeping you from getting where you want to go. It is simply how your mind is programmed to think. Now, I know we've been inundated with mindset stuff, and a lot of people will regurgitate mindset stuff, sometimes that they're not practicing themselves. But I have lived through the trenches to know that when I say what I want and I'm going for what I want, I get what I want. And when I rehearse what is my circumstance, the things that surround me while I'm standing still, and I just rehearse what my reality is. But you don't understand. You don't have the same problems I have. No, I do. Maybe not the same problems that you have, but if that's all I'm focused on, that's all I'll get. That's all I'll see more of. That's why gratitude, if you've ever been in a circle where people are sharing what they're grateful for, guess what happens? It just starts like, I'm so grateful for life. I'm so grateful for my kids, my car, my house. And you just can't stop thinking of things you're grateful for. And then it just starts this whole boohoo session of people in tears because they're grateful. They're not in lack or want or need. It's, I have enough where I am, and I'm grateful for that. And now that can grow. So if you don't rewire your brain, you will stay stuck forever. And I was in a place where I didn't think I was ever going to get out of it. So I am going to give this really cool illustration that I was working on. And it's basically your mind as a computer. And so you've got your key. Oh, goodness. Why are we always fighting with this? Go away. Why are we always fighting? Y'all can see this. Okay. To get a pen, just give me the pen. So you've got your mind as a computer. So here you have keyboard, you've got the screen. We're going to go old school. We're going to do like a little Mac. We're going to take it back to the 90s. So you got your keyboard here. You got your screen. And you've got this little foundation under it. We'll get to that, what that is. So here on your screen, you've got results. All right, y'all probably know where I'm going with this. And your keyboard is the actions. Right? So naturally, what most people think is that their actions are what control the results, right? obviously, if I'm typing on the keyboard, what I'm typing is going to show up on the screen. Yeah, but who's typing, right? So there has to be something that is driving what you're typing, driving those actions. And that just happens to be your programming. And that's a brain, but whatever. There's a brain stem. That's your programming. And that comes from your childhood. This is a little child, right? So there's something that was programmed in you back in the day that's stuck in your brain, that is programmed, and you're just repeating this action on repeat, getting the same results. And if something doesn't happen between here to change, you will keep living this cycle over and over and over again, and your brain's going to keep you from success. So most people are thinking, if I work harder, I'll make more money. Or if I apply for more jobs, I'll land a better opportunity. How many of you know that applying for more jobs is not how you get a job? Eventually you might, but it is exhausting. It's all about the relationships. They're thinking hustle, grind, repeat. But what actually is controlling success, again, is your programming. What you believe about money, what you believe about success, what you believe about opportunity, that's going to determine what actions you take. It's going to determine what risk you're willing to pursue. And it's going to determine whether you push forward or sabotage. Now, I can tell you from experience, sometimes you can reprogram yourself and you can get around the wrong people and you can end up going backwards. See, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if your mental programming is wrong and the people who you're hanging around, their mental programming is wrong, then no amount of hard work is going to fix it. You can work harder all you want, but it's not going to change. Now, I think we've all heard this story, but I'm going to tell it in a way you've never heard it before, because this is going to change your life. So there's an elephant and there's a rope. And when the elephant's a baby, it would try to break free, but its leg was tied to this little rope. And so it couldn't break free because the rope was too strong when the elephant was a baby. And over time, this little baby elephant, let's just call him, I don't know what the name, Dumbo. Yeah, Dumbo. There we go. Let's give it a name. So Dumbo was a baby elephant and he was tied to a wooden stake and he tried to break free, but he couldn't. And over time, Dumbo learned that he could not escape. Now, as a full-grown elephant, Dumbo could rip that stake out of the ground in seconds if he wanted to. But Dumbo doesn't even try. Because in Dumbo's mind, he's still trapped. And I'll tell you that most people are living their entire lives this way. There are times where I've talked to someone that is in their 50s or 60s. They've been living trapped in the same programming for 40 plus years, 50 plus years. And in an instant, I'm able to get to that place where that little rope was tied to their leg and they couldn't escape, and they didn't even realize that was what was playing on repeat. Guys, don't be Dumbo. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just the name of the elephant, right? They don't realize that the limits holding them back are not real anymore. And I'll tell you another quick story, something I realized a long time ago. At one time, I tried to open a yogurt, and you know how you open it and you're peeling and you don't realize that once you get it off, you have to have enough strength to not make the yogurt fly the other way. And so I'm taking it off. I don't compensate for it. And I do this and the yogurt flies everywhere and I get my butt kicked, right? And I said, I'm never going to open a yogurt again, or I'm only going to open it a little bit. I'm not going to take it all the way off. I did that until I was like in my mid 30s before I realized, oh, I'm strong enough to take it off and control it. That's wild. This whole time I never knew why I didn't take the lid the whole way off. It's because I thought I was going to make a mess again. And that would result in me getting beat. So, we're going to talk about some common limiting beliefs, and maybe we can help you reframe them so that you don't have to live with them on repeat. So common limiting beliefs are I'm not I'm just it says I'm not smart enough, but I can just put I'm not blank enough. It doesn't matter if you're saying you're not blah 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 enough. That is a limiting belief. And it's one perspective. You can believe that if you want. That's cool. It'll be true. The other one is I don't have the right experience. For what? To be someone else or to be yourself? Because I'm pretty sure you have exactly the experiences you need to be you. That's all you need to be. Be you. I'm going into the stuff from last week now. And here's the bigger one. People like me don't get those opportunities. So you mean to tell me that you're letting people like me keep you from even trying? I like to live like this. If there's an opportunity and someone can say no, I'm going to let them tell me no. I'm not going to tell myself no for them because I don't know what they're going to say. I do not know until I ask what someone's going to say. So why deny myself before I even give myself the chance, right? These right here, wait, where are we going? These right here, they're not facts. They're mental programs that were installed in you at some point, maybe from a teacher who made you feel stupid in school. We've all had that. Or a parent who told you to play it safe because they were told to play it safe because they were told to play it safe. You get where I'm going with this? Or it's been like some past failure, like the yogurt, right? Something that convinced you you're not capable. And then you believe that. Now, a lie once put on trial and has no leg to stand on will break. But if it's the truth, you know it's the truth. It's like a lion. It does not need defense. A lion can defend itself in the courtroom, right? That's the truth. The truth can defend itself. It can withstand the trial because it's the truth. Now, if I questioned one of these limiting beliefs you brought to me, it would not be able to stand. And therefore, it would be broken down. And then the new truth that you say in its place, the reframe, would feel better, and then that would just break it down. But there's always a root. It's always deeper than what you think it is. I remember doing eye movement desensitization reprogramming. It's EMDR treatment with a counselor, and it was this process of like bilateral stimulation and asking me questions about what bugged me the most. And then we kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. And like all these images are flashing in my mind and tears are running down my face and my heart's racing and I'm angry. And the counselor was like, whoa, dude, slow down. Like I've never gone this fast, this far with someone. I'm like, I've been through 12-step programs. Like we've gone deep before. This is, well, anyway, it got to the end and the flashes stopped coming. And it was just one picture playing. And it was my mom and dad on the couch. We were watching a movie and I was playing with my toys. And that was the last time I remember feeling happy. And I believe that was the day my father left. Now, most of our programming and our wounds that we're reliving come from one thing in our childhood that we've either repressed, forgot about, or didn't realize were still affecting us. I want you to ask yourself, like, what is that for you? What is that for you that is keeping you, that elephant that's tied to the rope that isn't even holding you anymore? You're not there anymore. It's not even a thing yet. You're still stuck there. I want you to ask yourself that. If you feel comfortable sharing that in the comments, please do. Help someone else with your breakthrough. That's always cool. So I'm going to talk about how, besides EMDR, that I rewired, reframed, rewired my brain, rewired my own beliefs. So for years, I didn't believe I was qualified for anything else beyond restaurants, retail, or service jobs. And I thought that was my lot in life, that I was just going to be a blue collar worker, a servant, And there's nothing wrong with being a servant, but I didn't think I was smart enough for a high paying career, right? I thought I needed a degree. I thought I needed all these things in advance of doing the thing. So if I don't have a degree, no one will take me seriously. The only way to make money is to grind harder. And because I believe that, that influenced my decisions that kept me in that reality. Because I didn't think I was smart enough, I didn't even try. I didn't go around smart people. Because I thought I needed a degree, I didn't even show up in places where people had degrees. Because I thought I needed to grind, I was grinding, but I didn't understand that there's this thing called leverage, and there's this thing called networking, and your network is your net worth. One day I stopped and asked myself, what if everything I believe about success is wrong? And this started with, get rid of this for a second. This started with one quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that said, do one thing every day that scares you. And I'm like, I'm not scared of nothing, until I realized I was. And this was like, I was 23, 24, early in recovery, just learning how to do things without drugs or alcohol. And I realized I was afraid in school to walk to the pencil sharpener. Like, that was just the worst experience ever. If you didn't have your fit down, or like your pants were off your, I don't know. There was so many things, because middle child students are cruel. So it stemmed from there. I was afraid to speak in front of people, eat in front of people, talk to strangers. Like, there were so many things I was afraid of that I didn't even realize were fear. I just thought it was my temperament, who I was, how I was. I didn't even question it. So I started by eating by myself. And the first time, it was so awkward. I wish I had a menu here. We'll just use this book. I would order my food and then eat with the menu in front of me. Like, the waiter's trying to take the menu, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to use that. And then I realized something. I'm looking around and no one's looking at me. No one even cares. And that was back in 2007, 2008. That was before smartphones. I've realized that the more people I drive by in their cars, the more people are not looking at the road. They are in their phones. I'm surprised people are getting where they need to go. So what if everything you believe about success is wrong? Well, by doing one thing, just one thing, I'm not talking about an overhaul of everything you're doing, just one thing every day that scares you, just one, baby steps. What you'll find is you have more courage than you thought you did. And so one thing turned into two things. And then I got addicted to doing things that scared me. And now I have this demeanor, this mantra has turned into, if anything scares you, face it head on so that nothing stands in your way. I'll say that again. If anything scares you, face it head on so that nothing stands in your way. If you face the thing that scares you the most, everything else is going to be easy. I promise you. Test. Try a cold shower first thing in the morning when you wake up. Don't even think about it. Get up, get undressed, go to the shower, get in, turn it on all the way cold, and just stand there. I promise you, everything that happens after that in your day is never going to be as bad as that. And you'll notice something, but I want you to come back after you've tried it and put it in the comments. What did you notice? That's something for something. That's for later. I would love to hear how that experience panned out for you. So I won't spoil it. You got to find out for yourself. So the moment that I questioned my programming, everything changed. I started learning new skills. I started networking with people that I never would have talked to before. I started talking to strangers in grocery stores, on the street. Like, I enjoyed talking to people because I wasn't afraid. I started applying for jobs I thought were out of my league. I started hanging with people I thought were out of my league. I stopped playing small, and that's what I want for you more than anything. If you're watching this video, if you're under the sound of my voice, stop playing small. In months, maybe even days, your entire life can be transformed if you just face your fears. And you know me, I'm going to tell you, it's not even fear. Fear is I'm standing on the edge of a building and I look down and I almost fall off that building. That's fear. My life can end. But there are only really two fears that we have: fear of loud sounds and fear of falling. Everything else is programming, it's anxiety. So, most people will spend their entire lives like Dumbo the elephant, trapped by an invisible rope that's not even holding them anymore. They're way larger than this rope. It's just tied to their foot. There's a stake in the ground, but that stake is not even the size of our foot. And we're just standing there, scared. I want you to picture that for a minute. I'm not going to draw it. We're done with the whiteboard. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you never challenge the beliefs that are keeping you small. I want you to imagine, what would it be like to question everything? I mean, seriously, just question everything about your life, even what you believe to be true, because everything is subject to revision, including the truth. It says in the word that we should debate and talk about the truth with each other. And I mean, believe it or not, you should always be talking about what you know and what you've learned with other people, because when they question you, guess what? They're not challenging you. They're giving you something that allows you to, if you don't know the answer, go deeper, learn more. And who doesn't want to learn more? I don't know. There are people in the world that once they get out of high school or college, they never want to open another book. They never want to learn again. That's not me. But if you're my people and you're still here watching, let's learn together. Let's grow together. If you don't question what you believe about success, you will never escape the limits that you've placed on yourself or the limits that the world has placed on yourself. But if you do, you'll realize that you were free this whole time. And what a feeling that is. So I want you to drop a comment below. What's one belief you had about success that you're starting to question? From this video, from something someone else has said, from something I reminded you of. And if you want to learn how to rewire your mind oh my gosh. If you want to learn how to rewire your mind for success, grab a copy of From Waiter to Greater. I break down exactly how I shattered my own limiting beliefs and went from $213 an hour to multiple six figures a year and stepped into my greater, and then realized that that wasn't even what I wanted in the first place. So it's my desire for everyone to get everything they want so they can realize that's not what they wanted anyway, and they can really lean into who they are and what they're called to do. I think that your next level is waiting, and the only thing that's in the way is what you're believing. I love my friend Darwin. She says, you will be, actually, she says it, Myron says it, but the way she says it, I just love her accent. It's just like, you will be living what you are believing, even though you be lying. So lie to yourself if you want to. Let the lie continue. But if you're bold and courageous and you do everything you do with passion, I promise you will have a life that you love. Where are we at? 23 minutes. I'm getting better at this, guys. I'm just on YouTube to get better. That is all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. It served you. It helped you. I hope that you share it with someone that can benefit from it. And I've left some links in the descriptions. If you want to level up in a community full of like-minded winners, get your free 7-day trial to our Skool community. There is the Greater University Skool. Yeah, whatever. The Skool community is the Greater University. We've got this mastermind we're building locally in Dallas. You can DM me for details on that. Grab the workbook on Amazon, Waiter to Greater, the workbook. You've got the book. I've got so many resources that can help you level up. And I'm not an expert. I just know something that I did that worked for me, and it's worked for everyone I've given it to. And I just want to share that with you. So come be a part of my community. Join the greatest group ever on Facebook. Just come on and get some love. Get in a community of people that are growing together. And I will see you in the next video. That's all I got. Bye.